Eureka! He's alive! Yes, it's true! He's alive! Welcome, friends. You're just in time for the proof about the resurrection of Jesus. I'm Dr. Archie Logical.
Archie, Archie, Archie Logical. Archie, Archie, Archie Logical.
The resurrection. When Jesus was raised out from the grave, while Mary was in gloom, she found an empty tomb. But does that make sense in your head, that a man came back from the dead? I mean, who would believe that? It's a great question, one many people have asked over the last, 2,000 years or so, and the historical evidence is compelling. Let's go back in time to the year 33 A.D. Huzzah! Ah! Yikes! Too far! Ah! Phew! Here we are, the Garden Tomb in Jerusalem in Israel, near the spot where it's believed Jesus rose from the dead. And this is historical evidence number 1. Jesus' body has never been found. It's true. If Jesus did not rise from the dead, then his body should be somewhere. Yuck. Compare this with the founders of many other world religions, like the Prophet Muhammad, buried in Saudi Arabia, Buddha, Jingchuan, China, and Jesus, well... Speaking of Jesus... 2. Jesus predicted his own resurrection. Brah, you say. A prediction isn't proof, pal. That's true. So let's talk about it. Most people agree that what Jesus said is right and trustworthy. For example, take teachings like judge not so that you won't be judged, and love your neighbor as yourself. Seems right and trustworthy to most people. Now, the same Jesus also said that he was going to die, be buried for 3 days, and then come back to life. Oh, and by the way, he didn't just say it like sorta as a joke. He said it like 21 different times. How could he be wrong about the come back to life stuff, but be right about the love and judgment stuff? Either Jesus isn't trustworthy, or he is. 3. Mary Magdalene was a woman. Okay, that's obvious, but unfortunately, in that historical time and place, most men wouldn't trust the word of a woman. Still, all the stories about Jesus make it clear that Mary Magdalene, a female, was first and foremost to say she saw the risen Jesus with her own 2 eyes. 4. Thomas touched the wounds. Thomas was one of Jesus' disciples who doubted the resurrection at first. In John chapter 20, Thomas said, I won't believe it unless I see the nail wounds in his hands, put my fingers into them, and place my hand into the wound at his side. Well, a few days later, Thomas and a few other disciples were together in a room. The door was locked, and then suddenly, Jesus was in the room with them. Jesus said, peace be with you. Put your finger here and look at my hands. Put your hand into the wound at my side. Believe. Ha! Talk about drama. Gotta hand it to Jesus. Get it? Because hands, the holes in the holy hands. Never mind. Last one, number 5. 500 other eyewitnesses. The Apostle Paul, writing just a few years later, wrote a letter called 1 Corinthians. In chapter 15 of that letter, Paul reminds the Corinthians that just in case they ever wonder if Jesus really rose from the dead, and if their faith ever faltered, they could find one of the 500 eyewitnesses who said they also saw Jesus alive. Yeah, you heard that. 500. That's a lot of witnesses. Now, you could have all the historical evidence and convincing proof in the world, and it would still take some faith to believe in Jesus. And that's kind of the point. You'd be in good company, though. People have questioned and wondered and discovered all these things for thousands of years, right up until today. Wahoo! Guess I'm stuck here. Not so bad. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to forage for my fill of some fresh falafel, fish sticks, and filberts.
Archie,
Fulfilling.
Archie, Archie Logical. Archie, Archie, Archie Logical.